All right, I'll rhyme something with moose. Okay, let's get back to this handshake agreement, and maybe it's more of an understanding. So we've talked a lot about Jonathan Kuminga, and Jason Anderson came out yesterday and said that, or maybe that was 2 days ago, and said the Sacramento Kings are keeping Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis off of the table, all right, in discussions regarding Jonathan Kuminga. So similar to DeMar DeRozan and what's being promised to Jonathan Kuminga there, if you are setting Keon Ellis off limits, you'd have to think that the Kings are very, very confident that they will not be losing him in free agency. You'd have to think that. Now, it's always possible that you read a situation, if Keon ends up being a starter this season and balls out and the Kings get priced out, it's always possible. But the Kings, I guess, based on market, based on the relationship that they have with Keon, if you are making him untouchable in Kuminga conversations, who does have a bit of a ceiling, whether you think that it fits or not, he does have a bit of a ceiling. He was a top 7 pick a couple years back. I would like to believe that the Sacramento Kings have some type of understanding with Keon that hopefully he doesn't even get to free agency. Really, that they wouldn't even get to free agency and mess around. Now, Keon is look, handshake agreements, we've all seen those kind of fall through. If it ain't pen and paper, anything can happen. But it would be, hey, we are going to be at what we feel is the top of the market, and we're going to try to lock you up before you get to free agency. And it's basically going to be a deal that would be the best deal that Keon's agent assumes he'd be able to get. Because if not, why wouldn't you just go to free agency? So I'm not saying there'd be a bit of an overpay, but we are going to ensure that you get the top of the limit as far as what would be out there for you, just in case somebody actually beats that. Now, Keon could say, "Hey, that's cool. I appreciate that. I don't know that we are going to sign early, but thank you. I'm probably going to see how it plays out." Or there might be more to it where Keon said, "Sure, if you bring the right numbers, I won't hit free agency. We'll just extend right here." So something has to be said, or something must have been said to Keon for them to say, yeah, we're not including him. And because it's not about, to me, it's not about Keon being better than Kuminga. It's not about that, because I think he is better than Kuminga, but I think that Kuminga might put you in a better position 3-4 years from now. Maybe not, but maybe he does. It's more so about, we believe we want to acquire Kuminga and still have a young player like Keon Ellis, which means they must feel that they're going to keep the young player Keon Ellis. If they thought that there was a chance that they could lose Keon Ellis, unless this might be their first big miss, and we'll see at the end of this upcoming season if they do lose him, then I don't know why he would have been said to be off limits. Maybe they want to keep him for a different deal, but we're about to start August tomorrow. So I don't know. It's hard for me to see them saying no to Kuminga, but including Keon Ellis in something during the season, unless it's some type of sweetener in a DeRozan deal. I don't know. I don't see that happening, though.
It wouldn't make sense unless the team that's trading for him also feels confident they're willing to offer him more than anything in free agency, right? Because why would a team acquire a guy who only makes $2.3 million, so you'd have to attach another salary to it?
Yeah.
or would hit, is going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season, right? Unless it's like hey, the Kings are 12th and they're just trying to get anything they can, even if it's just a couple seconds, they're just trying to get anything they can to tear this thing down. I to your point, I don't see it unless it's like combined with another piece. And the only one that I think a team would want with an expiring deal is Sabonis.
Well, and the other thing I would say, if Keon is just having a crazy season, it's kind of the Mason Miller thing on a much smaller scale. If Keon's having a crazy season, but the Kings just can't put it together, that would be, I don't know, enter the first name that comes in my head. I don't know, the Pistons or somebody that are in a pseudo all-in situation, and they say, we'll give you a protected first for Keon because he doesn't make a lot of money, and assuming Keon's going to sign with us and he's going to be part of our young defensive backcourt, right? But the chances of that happening are pretty slim. So the idea of Keon being put off limits for Jonathan Kuminga, I don't think it says as much about Jonathan Kuminga as it says they're planning on extending Keon Ellis. And to that point, how sure are they that it's going to happen? There has to be some type of understanding.
I guess, although, you've kind of outlined the point as well, but like, I feel like their chances to sign Keon also decrease if they give Jonathan Kuminga $20 to $25 million per year. I only say that because, you might get younger, but you're not exactly getting cheaper. Yeah. I was trying not to say cheaper, but you're
less expensive.
You're paying market rate to get younger. It's not like you're the Spurs who are paying Wemby $12 million when he should be making 70. It's like you're paying Kuminga 20 to 25. You're paying Keegan probably 25. You're paying Keon Ellis probably 15 to 20. So you're getting presumably market rate because all these people are signing contracts basically within 8 months, right? Yeah. There's a world where they could have Kuminga, Keegan, and Keon all sign new contracts.
So to that point, how much of an understanding could there be? But all I know is I'd like to believe there is some type of understanding if you are deciding to hold on to a Keon Ellis. Less about Keon being better than Jonathan Kuminga in the 2025-2026 season, and more about, do you think you'll be able to hang on to Keon after this offseason and keep him in a Sacramento Kings jersey for the foreseeable future? As far as other teams that might be interested in Keon and Kuminga and others, we have a list of all of the teams in quote unquote good cap situations for the 2026, heading into the 2026-2027 season. We'll tell you who it is, and should you be worried. Down south, Sactown Sports.